Hello, gamers, and welcome to the first episode of Listen Gamer, the new podcast coming to you talking about all the things from gaming to new releases to those nostalgic games that we grew up on. My name is Ryan,
My name is KingKrazey.
so let's get straight into it. So, one of the most iconic games that's come out this year so far, I believe, has been the new Evil Dead game. Have you had the chance
Yes.
to play that at all yet?
I haven't, no, but it does look kind of fun. I will be,
It really does, doesn't it?
yeah, I will admit, it looks pretty sick.
I know a couple of people have played it and they said it's really it's quite similar to like a game of chess where you're just sometimes you have to play the long games, other times you're getting on top of each other and stuff. Like
But that's,
it's crazy.
yeah, that's all you want in a game though, isn't it? Like, you don't know whether it's going to last 10 minutes or like half an hour, but as long as it is, you have that thrill and you get that fun of being in the game and playing the game for that amount of time, that's all that matters. You don't want to be in a half an hour game and it's like, oh my God, this is boring. But like from the trailers and the gameplay that I've seen, it looks really fun.
Yeah, it really does. Like the team aspect of it and even the killer or the
The
demon side of it just looks really interesting to play.
The voice lines, the voice lines are pretty funny too.
Just shitting in the tall grass. Classic. We love them all. I
We do.
do I do need to get around to playing it for
S-
sure.
So I take it you know a little bit more about it than I do. So do you want to explain it a little bit more to me?
Um, Little bits here and there. So from what I've gathered of it is essentially it's 4 versus 1. So you've got the 4 survivors. They go around and they have to gather certain items. The demon's job is to stop them from getting these items. Once
Okay.
they've got the items together, they can make a spell of banishing to get rid of the demon and they win.
Okay. Cool. S-
So, um, a way a friend was explaining it to me was the demon doesn't know where any of the survivors are until they make noise.
Okay. So it's similar to another asymmetrical horror game. Then I take it.
Um,
Are there things like
yeah.
scratch marks, or is it
No,
just
no, no.
noise
So
notifications?
it's more noise notifications. So the map is really big. So they can go around collecting these items. You have to place like traps and minions and stuff around the map, but you'll only know where they are if they do something that makes a lot of noise, like getting in a car or shooting guns or anything like that. So if they can avoid that, you won't know where they are until they start doing it.
Okay. So from it's kind of a mix of multiple games in my head right now. So do you remember Home Sweet Home Survive, where you could set traps
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
killer? So there's that aspect of it. There's also like the COD zombies aspect of it, where if you make noise, the zombies will come and follow you. So which is you're the zombie or you're the demon in this case, which makes me think when you make a noise notification, that's when it like glows or it gives you some sort of auditory like sort of perspective of where that noise came from, so you can go and chase it. But then it's also got the Dead by Daylight aspect where it's 4v1 and you have to like essentially escape, or in this case, kill the demon.
Yeah. So it is the same as that. It's just I think with Dead by Daylight it's a lot more on like hide and seek and
Yeah.
looping, pallet stunning and all the rest of it. Whereas like the Evil Dead, you get the whole you get the finishers, you've got guns and shit to actually fight these minions with, and yeah,
So yeah, like what you said with Dead by Daylight, it's kind of like a glorified hide and seek game where you just the side quest really is to just like complete the generators, escape the game, not get killed. Whereas in the Evil Dead, the way you've explained it to me is more of an actual horror film in a game where you the survivor or you the sort of the cheerleader then that needs to be saved or whatever you want to call it, you guys have to work together, defeat like the evil to get to the end of the film or whatever you want to call it. But there is an ending for both sides. Either you die and you fail, or you all come together, shoot the demon in the face, and win. pretty much.
Yeah, so definitely. So it's essentially with Dead by Daylight, it's a lot focused on like escape
Yeah,
versus dying, whereas the Evil Dead is a lot more on one side is going to kill the other side eventually, and there's no other way around it.
yeah. There's no like cheesing your way out to an exit gate, like an escape hatch, or uh like everyone dies, that kind of stuff, and then you can just like wait it out and like cheese away to open an exit gate, that kind of thing. It is a definitive you die or you live kind of scenario.
Yeah, yeah, you have to work as a team, and everyone has to be doing something. You can't just hide all game and jump in the hatch at the end, or
Yeah.
like there's no solo queue and the aspects, from what I can gather anyway.
So that takes off one person in my community that I know won't play it.
Oh, he's getting better, to be fair to him.
Honestly, yeah, he's fantastic. It's a pleasure to have around, being
Hmm.
altruistic.
Yeah. So another game that's not been released that's similar to that is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
I haven't seen a lot of it yet, but it's from the same creators of Friday the 13th.
Yes, so I've saw this and I followed them on Twitter and everything. It looks sick. It really does. I've seen the trailer and everything, and I'm actually really excited for this one. I was more excited for this than the Evil Dead, which I still haven't purchased yet. It's on my wish list on Epic Games just because I always forget what games are called and stuff, so I just put them on a wish list and forget about them. But the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one that I'm actually looking forward to. So it's pretty much the same thing. It's like a asymmetrical horror experience, and it's just based on obviously the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it just looks sick. Like the gameplay trailer, it looks pretty cool, and the way that it's just laid out and everything, I'm just super excited for it.
Yeah, it's been mad. I don't know if it's being delayed or anything, but I feel like this has been in the works for so long, and Evil Dead just come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Like I hadn't really heard much about Evil Dead, and then yeah, now it's just here.
yeah. All of a sudden, it
But
just
like,
appeared.
who doesn't love Bubba? Like
I mean, probably the
honestly,
people that he killed.
yeah, but like Bubba's never kill anyone.
Well, to be honest, as long as there's no face camping and hitting on the hook kind of thing from this game, then I think we'll be fine. But
Yeah.
it really does look like a fun game. So what was it? Is it Sumo Digital or Fear the Gun or both of them? I think it's been created by, just off the top of my head. Well, my
Um,
memory's a bit weird.
I believe so. I can't remember totally. I know it's to do with the creators of Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
So
that's
that
Gun
was
Interactive,
that.
right?
Yeah, I think so. But that was like that was an old school game it was really good, but I think they they just didn't do much with it for a while, which I think had a lot to do with like ongoing lawsuits and stuff,
Yeah,
which just eventually killed the game, which is a shame. But
that happened to a few games though, didn't it? So
it
like,
there's been a few that come out to like challenge the so-called reigning champion of Dead by Daylight with like the 4v1 horror style game.
it's a really good concept, and I think what has set Dead by Daylight apart from the other games so far is because of the longevity of it, it's gained licenses from other horror aspects. So from other films and TV series like Stranger Things. Yes, I know they've lost the license, but the Demogorgon, Nancy Wheeler, Jonathan, everyone is still in the game. So if you've unlocked them, you can still play as them. But like you have Ghostface, you have Michael Myers, you have a plethora of other horror characters. Like that, I think that is the main thing that has set them aside from everyone else. Because
It,
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is just upon Bubba. Friday the 13th was just one killer. Same as the Evil Dead. From I'm not sure like if they've got licensed killers or anything, but they just seem like generic demons from what I've seen.
yeah, so I think that's been the problem that Friday the 13th fell into and Texas Chainsaw Massacre might be heading down is they are stuck into having those one killers in those games.
Yeah,
Evil Dead a little bit more like they could technically create different demons with different powers and just say that they're canon to the Evil Dead world.
Yeah,
because it's more of a horror franchise than just about a single horror character.
yeah,
So I think they've got more wiggle room there. But like Dead by Daylight has that thing where they started off with they only had their unique own made killers, and they continue to make their own killers as well as adding licenses in. Like
exactly.
there's been some huge licenses going in, like the Pinhead going in, Resident Evil, Pyramid Head for Silent Hill.
Which a leak as
Like
well. Sorry to interrupt, but there's a leak that a second Resident Evil chapter's coming, right?
yeah, I believe so. It was a leak. They actually did announce it in the most recent anniversary though, so it is actually confirmed they're doing Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, so that's
Just they haven't released any details on that.
yeah, and that's the first license that they've done that with, which is kind of
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I'm really kind of hoping they do it with Stranger Things as well though.
That will be good. Like no spoilers, but my god, how dark was the Stranger Things series like this time
I'm
round?
I'm only 2 episodes in, so
Oh my god, really? But
yeah.
the darkness was insane to start off
Like
with, right?
even just the first 2 episodes, like the main villain for season 4 would make an excellent DVD killer.
It would be fantastic. It would like the way we talked about this the other night, I believe it was if it would be kind of a mix between Nemesis and Deathslinger, whereas you could chase after the survivors, you would grow your tentacle kind of thing, the thing that whatever,
Mm.
and you could grab the survivor, reel them in, but the survivor would have skill checks or something so they can actually break free. And if they
Yeah.
break free, they would be like slowed for a little bit, kind of like if you went into a Freddy pool. So
Yeah.
they'd have that little slow, so they couldn't instantly get away, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it'd be
And
really interesting. I imagined him having his own world as well of like the Upside Down.
yeah, that would also be pretty cool. But they would need to do it a mixture between with the new killer coming out, they've got their own sort of upside downy kind of darkness world. Freddy's got his dream world. They would need to make it very different. Maybe
Yeah.
the way that I could think about it is in the upside down, there's quite a few things there, but quite a lot of the actual surroundings of the upside down is omitted. So not everyone's house is there. Not everyone's like garage, not everyone's things, that kind of stuff. So what they could do with a new killer is if you've been like, I don't know, chased or infected for a certain amount of time, you go to the upside down. Kind of like the same thing with Freddy works. The
Yeah.
same as the Ringo, same as the darkness. All of a sudden you go into the upside down. And then kind of like with the doctor, where the pallets disappear as you come to them. If you're in the
Mhm.
upside down, maybe none of the pallets spawn. So you have to kind of like guess where the pallets are
Yeah.
or something similar on those lines to make it more sort of powerful to try and get out of the upside down.
Mm.
So because I feel with Freddy these days, being the way they've reworked his add-ons, it's made it kind of redundant to even be in the dream world, in the dream state, because his old add-ons for every survivor, like in the dream world, would decrease their healing speed or their generator speed, that kind of thing. But they've completely removed that kind of stuff. It's just footsteps now. So I think Freddy is very weak in his dream world. So if they added something else, maybe that would, like in the Upside Down, for example, maybe that would be more beneficial to killers like that, or maybe even add like perks to combat if they're in like a different dimension kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's hard with perks because it's hard to have a perk that specifically counters a certain killer. Like, there's not many of them out there, and they try to get rid of a lot of them.
Yeah.
But like, going back to your point about the Dredge, which is the new killer coming out and his own world, can we ask why the fuck is he lit up like a Christmas tree? Like, I
um
understand why the survivors are like that. It should be easier for him to find.
yeah.
but Jesus Christ, he's like a disco stew crisp, like a disco ball. Like,
You know what he reminds me of? Like, you know that episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns
yeah,
is on all those drugs and he's like, "I bring you love." and
I
he's,
bring you love.
and he's just there glowing. That is the Dredge. That is 100% the Dredge.
Literally, literally.
Oh, it's just
I do hope that they change that, even if they give him like a bit of an outline to help you spot him, but just not a full-on disco ball. Like
but
his shining ostrich head stands out a mile away.
he's supposed to be like a nightmare. You're not
Yeah,
supposed to see a nightmare coming. Like, look what
no.
happens with Freddy, for example, where it's 16 meters away, he's kind of intermittent. And like he's the same size of a survivor because he's a man. So like having what, a 6.5, 7 foot Dredge, like vagina face coming at you glowing in the dark. I mean, it's a bit of a giveaway that the guy's coming, right? So I think removing it entirely, or give him, if they have to give him a glow for whatever reason, just make it so it's nowhere near as bright. So it's a very, like you said, a very vague outline. So like you can
For
see
me,
it coming.
one thing that would be really good to change about him is, instead of it being this bright white glow, have him as this black blob, and all you can see is glowing red eyes. That to me is
That's
fear.
that's not a bad idea. So kind of like a Dementor with, or like a ghost, like a transparent sort of ghost kind of looking thing, but then the eyes are glowing red.
Yeah.
Like, because if you think about it, we're accustomed to seeing like a wraith invisible running at us from, I think, 16 meters. That is when you first can see him. Feel free to correct me, but as he gets closer, you can see him better and better, right? So
Yeah.
we're not gonna find seeing a massive glowing vagina coming at us hard. So if we were to have, like you said, a translucent sort of ghost, sort of smoky, kind of ominous character with glowing red eyes, does it even have eyes?
I don't know. I don't even want to ask. I'm assuming it does because you can flashlight blind it, but
But you can flashlight blind a Demogorgon, and the demo doesn't have eyes.
yeah, it does.
The Pyramid
Leave
Head,
Demo's eyes alone.
Pyramid Head doesn't have eyes. The nurse has bandages across her eyes, and she's blind, allegedly. So, and you can still blind her. So, I don't think eyes matter in Dead by Daylight.
Listen, right? He's got an eye somewhere. It's probably in the middle of his vagina mouth or something. That's how I'm imagining.
Well, it's
But like,
just
it could be like,
could be the
because
mouth that glows.
well, his head is normal. So what would it be if like if you go into nightmare mode and his head like just tucks away?
Oh, you know what? It does have eyes. I've just quickly looked. It does have like eyes upon the lips, just off from the lips.
On the lip.
Like, yeah, I'd say a good like 2 or 3 centimeters. It's kind of got a Voldemort looking nose, but yeah, it's the eyes are just off from the lips of the mouth. But I think if the eyes glue, is that even glowed? I don't know English, but if they did light up and glow, then it would be way more terrifying because you're in darkness, you're in like this nightmare mode, and like you've got this ominous sort of smoky black sort of figurine coming at you that you can just about see, and you've got these demonic glowing red eyes just coming at you. Like, I think that would be a much better idea than what they currently have when you're a walking glow stick.
And like, it's the DBD community, let's be honest. Like, people see this glowing stick just going towards them and like, yeah, clicky, 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 clicky. Come on in, chase me.
Exactly. Like, I see this killer coming at me in Nightmare, or in the night mode or whatever, and I think, you know what? I've got no juice left in my flashlight. Maybe if I like give it to him, he can charge it up for me. just something stupid. Like, it's not terrifying. It's the opposite. I think Dead by Daylight needs to go back to its roots of being scary.
Like they done a really good job of Ringu, in my opinion.
Yeah, Like, to be
Like,
fair, I think that's the only killer lately. Apart from obviously a Ghostface or a Myers in tier 1 or no terror radius when in stealth mode, like, and they just come around a corner, like, in an unsuspected map.
there's one thing I would change about Ringu would be that you only hear the sound of her TV teleport if you're looking directly at the TV she's coming out of.
You know what? I don't really. It doesn't bother me because when I hear the sound, I'm in my head. I don't know where the TVs are anyway, so she
Yeah.
could be coming from anywhere.
Mhm.
So if
There's
they,
like a few times like I've been on a gen and you'll hear the sound and you know there's a TV close to you somewhere. So you automatically start moving.
yeah, that's fair enough. But then that would
Like I
make it.
love that little stealth aspect. Like she shits me up anyway coming out of
I
a
was
TV.
gonna say she shuts me off anyway because I've been on a TV on a TNL. I didn't realize, but the TV was on the opposite side of where the generator was. So she
Mm.
came out of that TV. She had undetectable or extra movement speed or something. She came around the TNL wall and just grabbed me off the jet. I shat my pants.
Yeah,
Like,
she gets both coming out of the TVs.
it was crazy. Like, I
Yeah.
genuinely just didn't see it, and she was so fast. It was unbelievable. So I'd like not looking directly at the TV. I don't think that matters, especially in my cases.
Well, yeah, but you're dumb, so
Yeah, you're not wrong. But maybe altering perks, something like, I don't know, alert, like coming out of a TV, alert shows the aura, like just little quality of life kind of things, just to
so
bring it up with new powers and stuff.
tell me one character, not necessarily from a horror film, but one character that you would like to see in DVD as a killer that you would think would be terrifying.
Oh, that's a difficult one.
I
I
can
was,
go with mine if you want. I'll tell you mine and give you a chance to think.
yeah, like, my brain cell is a bit laggy at the best of times. So yeah,
Oh yeah. So this would never happen. It would never be allowed to happen. But I think it'd be amazing. Darth Vader.
yes,
Darth Vader.
that would be
Just to
cool.
have him where he could have like two modes of like lightsaber out, lightsaber not out, and he only gets his red stain with his lightsaber out, and gets undetectable when he puts it away.
That would be crazy.
Yeah,
Would you be able to force grab people off the gens through walls though?
I don't think through walls. I think like he'd have a similar thing to Ringu, where his grab would be like a force grab, but he would have to be close enough for the grab animation.
Yeah,
But
kind of like
like,
if remember on Hawkins that dreaded moment with Zuto.
yes, that
So
one.
that far away.
Yeah. But like, so I had the idea of his power being to do with the force, where he could force push and force pull, but it would just be like a couple of meters either way.
Yeah,
So you could pull someone closer to you to be able to get a hit,
yeah,
or if they're greed in a pallet, you could force push them through the pallet. So then they're not going to be able to make it around another loop, if that makes sense.
yeah. No, yeah, I get you.
Or like you could do it to interrupt a hook stave, or like you could push them into a window to stop them from getting the fast vault
Yeah,
and
that
stuff
that
like that. Like
that would be
I think
pretty
it'd be really
cool.
cool.
Yeah, I think
And
that would be pretty
obviously
cool.
the iconic force choke Mori, the Darth Vader march for his chase music. I think it'd just be amazing.
That would be pretty funny.
But it's Disney now, so it'll never happen.
No, I know. So I've got two maybe. So a comedy one, because I always thought that if he could, sorry, it would be funny. But Jack Black as a killer and the devil as Jack Black as the survivor and the devil as a killer.
I was thinking that Jack Black is a killer. That's a bit harsh.
No, no, no. It'd be funny. Like that would
Yeah,
be like a comedian aspect where the devil the Maury would be like the devil rocks you so hard your head explodes and just blows up kind
yeah.
of thing. That would be pretty fucking cool.
He could if he just had like a guitar as his weapon.
Yeah, or like drumsticks or something, just something like musically, and
Yeah.
it would be pretty cool. Like you would have two modes, like because he's essentially like a goat kind of thing, isn't he? So he could, if he wanted to, he could run faster in that form, or he could
Yeah.
run, but he couldn't hit you. So do you remember like old Doctor where you had to switch between the two powers?
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of like that, where you would need to sort of like not so much charge it up, but you'd need to select it, and you would sort of like crouch down and go
Yeah.
into like the pig kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
I had a similar idea for like a werewolf style killer
yeah,
where they could go into like speed mode and put their Crocs on.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the croc comment. You fucker. I was waiting, dude. I haven't got them on, and my feet are freezing, and they're not comfy. I need to get them on.
Just not good enough.
But yeah, for an actual real kind of killer, it's kind of difficult. There's so many sort of like bad characters or like things out there. Maybe the Joker from Batman. That would be a cool one. Like Heath Ledger's Joker,
Yeah.
because he was just fucking ruthless.
I don't know how you would work with that because he doesn't really do anything other than like he's more of a. I suppose he's more of a trap killer, really, wouldn't
Yeah,
he?
he's like trap killer, putting people up against each other kind of thing. Maybe,
Our survivors do that anyway, but
yeah, that's fair enough. Um, you know what? Something. This is totally off the walls bonkers, but Walter White as a survivor,
okay.
and and Hank or something as a killer. You just start chucking blue meth at him or something.
You get two survivors.
Yeah,
Heisenberg and Jesse.
Jesse and Walter.
You get voice lines every time you come across another Jesse. Be like, Jesse, we need to do the gens.
Okay, bitch. I'll be there in a second, Mr. White. Or like you could go with generic things like Voldemort or like Snape
Yeah.
or Captain Hook even from Peter Pan, you know? That would be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Actually thinking about it, Peter Pan as a survivor kind of thing, and Captain Hook. Yeah, like you could have a perk like if you do like a gen on your own or something, you can get flight for like 20 seconds, or like you can do like a jump, for example, so you could jump over a loop. It's not so much flight, so like it's kind of like coup de grace, where after a generator's been completed you get one charge on that perk, which means you can do like a big jump
forward.
Yeah, like
So like dead hard.
So yeah, a secondary dead hard. So
you can dead hard upwards.
Yeah, pretty much. That would be sick. Imagine using that with the dead hard, but then you'd be exhausted because of the balance landing. But I was thinking if you did the launch, dead harded in the air, and then had balance landing, you would be gone. With Dance With Me or something. So when that would be sick. But yeah, Captain Hook would be kind of cool though.
Yeah.
Like he'd have slow movement speed because of his peg leg. But he could
TikTok croc.
he could have like, obviously his hook would be his M1, but then his power could be like a pistol.
Could have a nice end game build for him as well.
Yeah.
Because I have a perk called TikTok croc, and it like speeds up the end game collapse.
That's pretty cool. That could be like a secondary power. Like once the exit gates have been powered.
Like instead of 2 minutes, it's only a minute.
1 minute. It increases the timer by 2. But then they would need to balance that over with Blood Warden.
No, if he runs Blood Warden, you get hooked with the gate open. Fuck you.
until it happens to you. Until it happens to you, and then you'll be mauled in.
Nah,
you'd be so mad.
Funny, to be fair.
It would be fun.
If the killer opens the gates, you know full well it's Blood Warden, and you just leave.
Oh yeah, 100%. Unless
you just straight up leave.
Unless it's me, whenever I'm like salty, it's like, you know what? I pretended I wanted to be a friendly killer, so just go. Just go. I couldn't kill you. Just go. Just cried myself to sleep that night.
Oh bless.
But like the Mori would be kind of cool as well. Like you could like get hooked a few times, and then all of a sudden a crocodile comes out from nowhere, jumps onto you, and starts eating you.
Yeah. There's just one problem.
It's Disney.
It's Disney.
Yeah.
If Disney ever done a collaboration with Dead by Daylight, Disney at some point would just be like, "Nah, we're just buying you. We can do this so much better."
Yeah, pretty much. But it would be cool though, because like
You
think
just
of
have Makote walking out the office like, "Pretty good job so far."
dude, just think of Thanos. Like imagine Thanos stood next to
Oh, dude.
Nemesis. Thanos using the Power Stone to, I don't know, pick a pallet up and throw it at you or something. Or using the Time
Oh.
Stone to rewind time, so rather than you looping a pallet stun in, you would be behind him, he could just 180 and just hit you. Like that would be stupidly overpowered.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be in the game, but it would be a fun concept, like maybe an
It'd be good
event
if
or
he had
something.
to like earn his Infinity Stones by doing something throughout the game.
Yeah, so you'd have one as base. You could choose one as base,
Mm.
and then after each generator was completed, you gained access to another one.
Yeah, so you complete the glove once all the gens are depleted.
Exactly. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. I'm just imagining walking up to Nemesis and being like, "Brother, my brother."
And then,
That's an iconic Pokemon song. I don't even care.
but the Mori would be kind of cool. The Mori would be like, he punches him a few times or knocks him down or something, and then he just stands
Picks you
over
up by
him.
your throat and just goes, "You should have went for the head," and just fucking batters you.
No, I think something just more iconic to with the films. Sorry if you guys haven't seen the, what is it, 2 or 3 year old movie by now. But
It's been enough time.
yeah, if he punches the survivor to knock them out or something on the ground, or just like so they're very weak on their knees or something, he just stands over them and goes, "I am inevitable," and just snaps his fingers, and then they just dust. That would be pretty cool, in my opinion.
He could have two more. You see, if he does it with the glove complete, you get the
Yes,
snap.
yes,
But before that, maybe he has his twin blade,
yeah.
and he could
Yeah.
like
Just
um
cut you up with it, just dismember you.
just pick you up by your head. I think he done it to Thor. He like picks him up by his head and throws him to one side, but he just picks you up by his head by your head and spins the blade and just decimates you with the spinning blade.
That would be pretty cool.
Because the dual blade, he spins quite a lot as well.
Yes, it's a nod to his helicopter, I think,
Yeah.
because of his helicopter.
Helicopter, helicopter.
Helicopter. Dude, that's iconic clip.
Yes,
Who would agree
100%.
with that? Absolutely
It is.
fantastic. So was there
But
any other horror games that we were talking about? Because we did kind of go on a tangent with from Evil Dead to Texas Chainsaw Massacre and then to Dead by Daylight. I knew it'd eventually go there. but
yeah, there's a couple that are out. There's a few failed ones that happened. Few are still in the works. Like you mentioned, Home Sweet Home. There was VHS. I think that went through its beta testing, but it wasn't as popular as I think they were hoping it was going to be.
yeah, it kind of died, didn't it? And
It,
before it even
yeah.
lived.
It was the same with Home Sweet Home. It was a lot of, oh my god, look at this game. It's going to rival Dead by Daylight. A load of people played it, got bored of it, and then it fizzled out.
Yeah, I played it once.
So there
Like,
was Home Sweet Home. There was VHS. One that I've recently installed. I've done a tutorial for it, and it does look quite interesting. Is what was it called?
so there was another game that I was looking at, but going
It,
to VHS, I think they've changed the name of it. It's not
is
called
it?
VHS anymore, is it?
Hmm.
It
I
is?
haven't seen. I didn't get into any of the beta testing, so I haven't actually played it myself.
Oh, okay. So I've
Oh.
not played it either. So that I think that's another thing that actually killed it because not many people were getting the beta testing from what I saw. Like
Yeah, they
loads.
were tending to focus like a lot of big streamers and stuff from what I noticed.
Yeah. Which is not the best thing because if all the big streamers can gain access to it, then that's going to want other people, like normal people,
Yeah.
to get it. And That's what you need. You need a big, if it's a beta test, you need a lot of people to get it.
Yeah. There just needs to be a lot of hype around it, which they didn't seem to get. The other one was Midnight Ghost Hunt.
Yes, I think I've bought that, but I've yet to play it.
So I've played through the tutorial. It looks really cool. It's a lot of like I think it's 4v4,
Okay.
but like
Oh,
so the ghosts have the upper hand
is it,
after midnight, and the survivors have the upper hand before midnight.
yes. Is it like a kind of ghost hunter game?
Yeah, yeah. So there's like you've got various weapons. You can go
Ghostbusters,
around
sorry.
trapping the ghosts.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. So like you can lay traps for the ghosts, you can shoot them and kill them and whatnot and all the rest of it. So the survivor's objective is to kill all the ghosts before midnight.
Yeah.
If they don't succeed, the ghosts they have killed come back and they get really powerful and they
Yeah.
then go hunting the ghost hunters.
So from what I can remember, it's kind of like Ghostbusters and Gary's mod at the same time, because I think you can possess objects like pianos, clocks, tables, chairs, etc. And like you said, like the survivors or the ghost hunters, they have their power, and then after midnight, they kind of like on Pac-Man, you know, when you get the ghost thing, and then all of a sudden the power of it runs out, then you can be eaten by the ghosts.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, right?
Yeah. It's similar to that, yeah, definitely. There's a lot of like you can possess and hide in items and stuff, and they've got the survivors have tools to like pick out what item you're possessing and stuff like that. It's really cool. It looks it anyway. I've just sort of been looking for a time to play it, and I got stuck in a Pixelmon rabbit hole,
Same, same.
pretty much.
Oh my god, I've just looked on. I'm looking at the moment on Midnight Ghost Hunt for the screenshots and stuff, and there's a baby with a knife just charging at someone, right? Which, apart from being absolutely hilarious, just triggered my memory for an actual Dead by Daylight killer that I wanted. Chucky.
Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chucky would be fantastic. It would essentially be Victor, but better.
My argument for Chucky was that they were using Victor to see if it would be viable.
Probably. I thought the same thing. And I do think it would be. Because
yeah, especially with how they've done Ringu now with the hook like adjusting to her.
yeah,
To be
exactly.
able to hook them. I
But
think that's building towards it.
Yeah, and do you recall in the Chucky films he possessed that doll, right?
Mm.
So that's essentially what happens with Victor and Charlotte. So
Yeah, because
you manifest into Victor, essentially. So
yeah.
you possess Victor to take control of him to go off and do the chases and stuff.
Yeah, I think it'll end up being that they'll do a Chucky chapter, or Chucky will become a legendary skin for Charlotte and Victor.
That would be pretty cool. I don't know if they would do a legendary outfit for him, because then it's changing. It's different with the Stranger Things chapter, because the Stranger Things chapter was the Stranger Things. This is an original killer. If you get what I mean. So
yeah, but they've given original killers legendary outfits like Trapper's Krampus instead of doing a Krampus killer.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair enough. That's a fair point. Well, they
like
could
they
do
haven't
then.
done it with a license yet,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
but they have done it with like iconic killers like Baba Yaga for the Huntress as well.
yeah, but they're not necessarily licensed though, are they? They're not like you said. They're not licensed killers. Baba Yaga is just like a thing. It's a boogeyman.
It'd be a whole new thing for them to do. That's for sure. But
Chucky as a killer though would be awesome. It would be. I think he'd probably be like half the size of Freddy Krueger, because Freddy's like a normal sized person, right? So Chucky to, I know it's a doll, so it's what, 12 inches, maybe 20.
yeah,
It'd be the same size as Victor. Maybe I think it'd be better to do it a little bit taller.
yeah,
And
they
then
could do it a little bit taller than Victor.
then they could have two legendary skins, the Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky.
Oh, 100%.
That would be pretty cool too. Obviously, his Mori would be just climbing up his body or something, stabbing him in the neck and just like destroying his very being, or doing some sort of ritual that he does to possess him. Oh my god, you know what? That would be awesome. if you moried someone as Chucky, you would become that survivor.
That'd be cool, but the problem is, and it's the same problem a lot of things run into in Dead by Daylight, Swift destroys that.
Yeah, but it'd still be cool though. Like,
Yeah.
if you had, for example, two people as Claudette or Nia or Ace Visconti, for example, and they dress the same, and they got moried, you're not in your head. You're not actively looking for an Ace or a Claudette. You're actually looking for a killer.
Yeah.
So it could, like, even if you're on Survivor Friends, it might just escape your head just for a split second, and that might be enough time.
It might escape your head anyway. But...
Hey, shut up. I was talking to Ash the other day regarding his place and said about the Lethal Pursuit. I was like, oh, yeah, bro, I'll still forget 5 seconds later. And he said he still couldn't believe it. And he just thought he's definitely going to take advantage of it.
It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, speaking of Ash, don't you have something to say about the streamer of the week, which is something that we're doing?
Yeah, so something we really want to do is have a streamer of the week, or at the moment, I think we're going to be doing the podcast monthly, so it'll be streamer of the month. So we just want to highlight people that we know and watch and are fans of their content, and just give them a bit of a spotlight. So I think this month we had chose Indominus Ash. So he is a Huntress and a Kate main. He predominantly plays Huntress more than Survivor, but he's just a really good streamer. He's a really cool guy.
Very down
He's
to
always,
earth.
yeah, very down to earth. He's always really welcoming when you come into chat as well. But he also runs his own Pixelmon server, and he plays Jurassic World a lot as well too. So it was just sort of just to highlight people that feel like they don't really get highlighted very much, and we'd like to hear your suggestions as well of streamers that you would like to see featured in Streamer of the Month, and hopefully it's just something that might be able to help boost their content and get a few more people seeing what they do and
Just
see
get
if they
more eyes,
enjoy
yeah.
him as much as we do.
Because he's great, super down to earth, and like you said, when he's fantastic Huntress main, he just hit snipes from wherever he wants pretty much, and it's bewildering. It's crazy how he can do it, and his knowledge of the game is fantastic. And if you go into his chat and ask him like, how did you do this, or like his thought process, or even if you just watch him for half an hour, not even that, just one match is all you need, and he explains everything that you need to know, like of why he's doing something. So for example, if he's doing a certain mind game, the biggest thing for me when I watched and when I was talking to him about it is how you control your axes. If you just tap the M2 button, for example, it'll arch. If you just hold it and fully charge it, it'll just go in a straight line, which for me, like, that's the biggest thing that he could have told me. And then apart from that, when he's playing Huntress, he explains certain things that he's going to do, he's doing, and it just gives you more of an in-depth way and more of a better understanding how to play Huntress and how to sort of combat certain things. And
He's
just very good at it.
Playing killer, yeah. In general, like he talks through his game really well.
He does, yeah. Like, and he deserves, like you said, a shout out and the spotlight, because just more eyes on him, because he's just fantastic. He's really cool. I like him.
100%.
Love you, Ash.
So love you, sweetheart.
Yeah, that hatch is not gonna hit, sweetheart.
But yeah, so we'll include his links for his Twitch and his YouTube in the description. So if you want to check him out, feel free to do so. And please just show him as much love as you give to us. Really?
Not so much drawing to me.
No, no one loves me. I'm just here to talk.
That's what you're paid to do. Gotta tighten those shackles, boy.
Bitch, you don't pay me.
I pay you in love.
You never show me love, though.
You gotta be cruel to be kind sometimes, okay? But yeah, back to the horror games. There was one that you was talking about after Midnight Ghost Hunt. I'm sorry, we went on a tangent again, but Carnival Hunt is one that I'm looking forward to as well. So, what was the other
Ah,
game that you said about, or do you want me to talk about Carnival
I
Hunt
think that was
first?
it.
Oh, that was it.
I've not heard of. Yeah, that was it. That was the last one I spoke of. Was Midnight Ghost Hunt. I haven't heard of Carnival Hunt though.
Right. So, Carnival Hunt looks absolutely amazing. Like I've seen the trailers and stuff of it. It's just crazy. So, have you ever played? I think it was Little Nightmares, where you're like this little tiny thing and you got to go around, and then if you turn your back to these creatures or these like
Mm.
weird sort of doll things, they would start chasing after you, kind of like the ghosts in Mario. You know, whenever you turned your back, they would start chasing after you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's pretty much the same as that. So it's pretty cool. You start off these bunnies. So I know there's certain people in the community that like bunny boys. So
Oh yeah.
that's a big plus already. So essentially, it's a first person asymmetric horror game. So one player takes the role of the carnival monster, and then the other plays the bunnies. So from what I can understand of the trailer, essentially the carnival monster is powered by the keys of the bunnies. So
Mhm.
do you remember the old toys that you wind up, or like the old clocks that you wind up with that key in the back? So
Yeah, the classic toys.
yeah, the classic toys. So the bunnies are powered through that. So not much details have been released on this, as far as I'm aware. But essentially, there's options to play dead as the bunny. So like you can pretend to be dead, and then the carnival monster can come up, and if he thinks that you're playing dead, he can pick you up and shake you to try and get your key out of you. And if he gets his key out of you, that's what he takes. It's sick. It's amazing. He rips off his own head, puts the key inside of his head to charge himself up or to make himself more powerful or something. It looks absolutely sick. So you can actually put it on your wish list already on Steam if you want to, just to keep an eye on when it comes. But it just looks amazing. Like it's just sick and dark, and it looks pretty cool. Obviously, it's in a carnival and stuff, and the carnival monster can kill you if he sees fit, and he just picks you up, grabs you by the neck, that kind of stuff, and just destroys you. But it's very similar to Dead by Daylight, obviously. But again,
Mm.
I'm not too sure on the details of what you need to do to escape and that kind of stuff. So, because
I'll
at the
have to
time,
keep an eye on that one.
yeah, because at the time, there wasn't much details on it from when I first looked at it, and they do have
Mm.
a trailer out, but the gameplay and everything looks really cool. So,
Mm.
I think there's maybe one or two killers. There's like the magician, which is the one that you see in the trailer.
Yeah, yeah.
I think there's one as well with the clown, and it just looks dark. Like I'll have to send you some links, but it looks amazing. Like it looks like
Yeah,
an actual
I'll
dark
definitely
kind
take
of,
a peek.
yeah, like a scary game. It actually looks terrifying and
Mm.
like fun to play.
Oh, definitely.
So
I'll
that
have to have a look at that later.
yeah, that was one horror game that I'm really looking forward to.
Moving swiftly away from horror games, though, there's one game I'm really excited for this year,
Yeah.
which is the new Pokemon games.
Oh my god, yes.
So
Who?
it's Scarlet and Violet, I
Yes.
believe.
Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet.
So these are actually multiplayer games, not just like trading and stuff. You can trade with people online or battle people online. You can actually join the same game and play in the same world with each other.
Which is pretty cool. So what I've read
To
up
my
on it
knowledge,
too.
it's the first Pokemon game that's actually done that.
Yes, it is actually.
Mm.
Unless you want to count the previous, I think it's the previous Pokemon game where you can go and do like expeditions or something with people. It's like a little dungeon. Was it Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon? I want to say if you bought the season pass, you could go to like these new islands, and you could do like these sort of dungeons, and then you could pick the Pokemon at the end. Um,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it was. I can't recall. It was the last Pokemon game that I owned. I don't think I got the Legends of Arceus. I think it is. I think it was the one before that. So
Okay.
it may have been Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon,
I think
unless that
Ultra Sun,
was.
Ultra Moon was a while ago.
Yeah, that was the DS. Never mind. Ignore me.
Yeah, no, it's Sword and Shield.
Sort of. Yeah.
Um, then Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl come out.
Right, okay.
Then Legends of Arceus.
I think it was Sword and Shield then.
Possibly. I think it might have been the DLC for Sword and
Yes.
Shield, wasn't it?
I've just quickly looked. It's the expansion pass. 100% it was that one. So Sword and Shield, they had these like dungeon things that you could do, which was pretty cool. So how long ago was that? So it was 2020, 2 years ago. So that's when that
so it looks
came
like
out.
it's something they've obviously were testing, and now they've managed to get it into the full core game as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty cool. So was it 4 people, I think, can jump together. So you can just play around, and from what I've read up on the game too, there's not a set way that you actually have to complete the game. It's an open world sort of adventure game, and you can do whatever you want whenever you want. That's
going to be great.
Yeah, it's not a set story that you have to do, but you'll still be able to do trading and battling, like you said. Exploring the different locations in the region, and being able to explore together. That looks pretty fun. I'm contemplating on getting it, to be honest.
I think I probably will. Whether I play it with you or not is a different question, because I don't know if I want to go around with you, follow me, go and battle me with your level 100 comp team all the time.
Well, the thing is, in that kind of game, like in that scenario, I wouldn't be doing that. It's different in Pixelmon. Because like I'm like, yeah, bitch, I got a comp team. Come at me. But it's just I like to battle. When I've got a comp team, I like to battle quite often, just to make sure that, because I know you change your team quite often, or you like play around with things. So I'd like to know that if my team can still beat yours, or if my team has any weaknesses. That's the reason why I say it. But if I was to play with you with this, it would be an adventure game, obviously, and we'd go around. It'd be kind of like what we did the other night when we played on the Pixelmon server, like going around looking for the diamonds, that kind of stuff, just adventuring around, just doing things and just chilling. Because I think that's what kind of vibe that this game gives off. Yes, you have the battle in the serious sort of competitive side that could potentially be a competitive side, and you also have the adventure with friends. And I think this adventure with friends would be a really good idea. It'd be cool if Skyrim came out with something like this as well.
So what's your choice of starter?
I think you already know.
So you've got Sprigatito,
Okay.
which is the grass cat.
Yeah.
Huecoco, the fire crocodile. That's what I'm going with anyway.
Okay.
And then my obvious choice for you would probably be Quaxley the duck.
Yeah, Quaxley, as soon as I saw the duck, I was like, you know what? Yes. Sir Quaxley.
I love the duck.
It's got a Mario hat on, for God's sake, and he goes into like a pirate when he evolves. It looks absolutely insane.
I haven't seen the evolution, see?
It looks pretty cool, unless they're concepts of what I've seen, but my God, it's great.
He just looks like a water Farfetch to me.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit like, yeah.
But it's cute though. And because
it's cute.
My daughter's nickname's Duck, so
yeah,
why not? And then like as soon as I saw it though, that it was announced, I was like, yeah, the duck's mine. 100%.
I think for myself, I'd probably go Firecroc, because the grass cat has what looks like a little bit of a beard, and we all know I can't grow a beard, so
yeah,
it's just out of line to go for the grass cat. And
the croc looks cute though.
I've always been fire. Fire has always been my predominant choice throughout the years.
But you know what?
Pokemon.
Grass fairy, that's powerful. Yeah. That's powerful. But you got fire, dark, or water flying. So I would be like 4 times effective against electric. I'd be screwed.
Yeah.
So if you had a Pikachu or something, just even do like a little, what's that, Thunderbolt, I'd be dead.
Yeah, little T-Bolt.
But yeah, they look cool as hell. I really like the look of them.
Which version do you think you're going to go for, based on the legendaries?
Ooh,
so there's Koraidon, and there's Miraidon, I believe it's said.
Okay.
So Koraidon, from what I can gather from the looks of him, is more of a bike style legendary Pokemon. Like he's got a big he's got a big tire in the middle of his chest. Like he looks like he swallowed a dolphin and he's struggling to get it down.
Okay, so
Um,
yeah, I know
the
what you mean now.
Miraidon, on the other hand, um, similar markings, but it looks more like she got like the go fast arrows from Mario Kart,
Yeah, looks like she got
and like
thrusters.
yeah, she got jet feet.
So to me, that kind of gives off combustion vibes. Like, you know, when we get him out on the server, he kind of looks
Mm.
like a testicle and a shaft, you know. So that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting with this Pokemon right now. But to be fair,
Yeah,
the red one, what one's that? The Scarlet version, that looks kind of
Miraidon
sick.
Scarlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm leaning towards that way.
So what I was thinking is maybe, just maybe, if I were to either Wonder Trade something magically and get the legendary, or I could start the game over again after getting the legendary. So I could have one and then I could trade it to you because I'm kind. But
Interesting.
they do look kind of cool, I will admit.
Mm, definitely.
They look really cool. It's kind of difficult to choose because I don't know the typings. Let's have a
Yeah.
little. I wonder if we can.
I don't know if they've released anything of it yet. I'm getting like lightning vibes from Miraidon with the hairstyle.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking Dragon Electric.
could be Dragon Electric, and the other one could be like Dragon Fire or something. So I don't think it actually says the typings like you said.
Mm.
Have a quick. Yeah, people are saying that they've got. There might be a new gym theme, which is pretty cool.
It could be a new typing altogether. They haven't released a new typing since Fairy, I think.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, I think so. I think Fairy was the last one.
Wow, that's madness.
Mm.
People are thinking that it's going to be fighting types. They're going to be fighting.
It could well be. Um, have you seen any of the other Pokemon they've announced along with them?
I haven't.
Because there is one that suits you to an absolute T.
Let me guess.
It's a little pig called Lechonk.
Yeah, I thought it was that one. That's one that I saw. The nose on the pig. Honestly, I will probably have that 100%. If
I'll be very disappointed if you don't.
like if it doesn't turn out to like evolve like the image that I've just sent you, if it doesn't evolve into something like that, I will be heavily disappointed. But if it does, I will be running that as my maid. If it is called Champ Pork and it looks like that, I will be in my element. I will have 6 of them and I will have them follow me around as my bodyguards. They look absolutely insane. But yeah.
It's always a classic with Pokemon, isn't it? They do seem to be running out of ideas, and then they pull like Lechonk out of nowhere.
It'd just be hilarious. Like it'd be funny as hell to like. It's like I said, it's just they're pissing in the wind and they're just coming out with like these weird names, weird Pokemon, and it works. It's kind of funny and it gets people talking about it, like what we're doing now.
Yeah.
On the subject,
classic sense.
What Pokemon would you go for, by the way? If I was Lechonk, what would be you?
Like I feel like you're probably thinking I should have Smoliv, the little grass-looking Pokemon, just because I'm a small fella.
Well, I was thinking that, but then again, I was also thinking Palmy.
Yeah.
Because you're always like,
little chunky fire hamster.
You just got that little tuft on your head from when you have your haircut. You got no beard, and you're like, oh, poor me, I've got no beard.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I quite like poor me.
But then again, it's kind of cute, so that's kind of a compliment to you.
It's electric.
Yeah, it's an electric mouse.
I thought it was a fire mouse. It's just a shit Pikachu.
Pretty much, yeah. The height is 1 inch. So
it's too big for me.
But it's 5.5 pounds, so it's kind of on the weight track of you, though.
Yeah, I suppose.
But yeah, it is a kind of a cute Pokemon.
Oh, definitely.
So, on the subject of Pokemon, what is your favorite
Yeah.
generation?
See, I loved Diamond and Pearl when you could have your Pokemon following you
Yeah,
with their little sprites. That was always cool.
that was cool.
Um, there's a few. I think I'll always be a Gen 1 though. Always be a Gen 1. I spent hours on that game. Absolute hours.
So like Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Green. No, Blue, sorry.
Blue, yeah. Green was the Japanese version actually.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that always really threw me off. And no one ever seems to mention it. Was Gen 1 was red, blue, and yellow. And then when they done the remakes, they never remade yellow, which
Yeah.
I think they should remake yellow, because yellow was a fantastic game.
Well, they have now though, haven't they? That's the thing.
Have they?
Yeah, so they've made it in a kind of Pokemon Go style. So it was Let's Go Pikachu.
They had Let's Go, yeah, but
As a direct, like, one for
it's
one
the closest
remake.
we're gonna get.
Yeah, that's the closest we're gonna get.
But yeah, it's still a little bit disappointing. But red and blue become fire red and leaf green.
Yes, and that's when I got into them.
Yeah, but blue is never remade.
No, I know.
I want blue. I don't want leaf green.
Honestly, leaf green was my favorite.
I want water blue. I wouldn't buy it because I had fire red because I'm a Charizard bitch.
Yeah,
but,
fire red. I had both of them to be fair, but like I played Pokemon Yellow. I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. Even now, I still feel the frustrations of going down my item list trying to find certain items, and it would just annoy me. And like the TMs and stuff like disappearing or like whatever it was, the glitches in the game was hilarious too.
It was all about the anime style. It was the fact that like you could meet Jesse, James, and Meowth and fight Jesse, James, and Meowth.
Yeah.
And they done that before double battles were a thing. Like they could have it where you come across Jesse and James and they fight you in a 2-on-1 battle.
Yeah, it was great.
But they just don't do it.
Like even the sound effects, like it was awesome.
And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, you could teach Pikachu surf in Pokemon Yellow.
I think you could. Like either that was one of the myths, or I'm not sure, but like it was definitely
one of the many myths from Generation 1.
But yeah, I first sort of like got really into it at Leaf Green Fire Red. So I had Leaf Green, my mate had Fire Red, he ended up giving me his Fire Red as well. But I just love those games.
Did you go back and play Red or Blue?
I haven't played Red or Blue, no. I know.
So did you ever try and use strength on the Mew truck?
I plead the fifth.
How many times, gamer?
Put it this way, I can't count it on two hands. You can't tell me you didn't try it.
I 100% tried it. I tried for so long, and I mean, like, I used to think that like certain save files it would work on, or you had to choose like a certain starter for it to work. So I would go through choosing different starters, and like I think one of my friends once told me you had to have like a Ditto in your party for it to be able to work.
I remember that one. Oh my god.
So I tried that as well. Yeah.
Oh my god. Like you was like hook, line, and sinker. You sunk hours into trying to get that.
My thing is like what made a video game to me was astounding, like the amount of work that would go into a video game. So in my mind, I was like, for that truck to be there, it has to have a reason.
Yeah.
And it just turns out that it was put there by accident, and it costs more money to get rid of it than it did just to leave it there. So they just left it there. Like that never crossed my mind as a child.
Yeah, like, and the thing is, when I got to like Fire Red and Leaf Green, that was like when the cheat codes and stuff like that was like starting to get rife.
The
So
old Game Shark.
yeah, the Game Shark, the Cheat
Yeah.
Masters or whatever it's called, and like I was like, I really want the mule. Like strength isn't working. So I think it was like 10, 15 pound. You can get this like Game Shark thing. You could put it in and then you can spawn a Mew or you can go to the island or something. And it was fantastic. Like the main thing is because like I used to go to the library, like as a nerd that was. I used to go to the library, go on the computers, and I'd search like how to get Mew and stuff, and it would literally say use strength on the truck or use it with a Ditto or this, that, or the other. But then it came across as like these Game Shark things, and I was like, yo, I want one of these. Like I can get it. So I didn't get the I did eventually, but I didn't to start off with. I didn't cheat to um get rare candies, super moves, that kind of stuff. I didn't cheat to do that. I only did that after I already completed the game, but I was looking how to get Mew, how to get Deoxys, get this, that, and the other, and it would say you had to go to these events, you had to do this, you had to get tickets, blah, blah, blah. So that was the main reason for me wanting it. So, and these crazy things, I think it was in Fire Red Leaf Green, but do you remember when you had to get Deoxys and you had to like hit the triangle in certain ways and you had to do it within a certain time frame? And then all of a sudden, if you did it right, it would glow each stage more intense red from like this black triangle. It would zoom around the little island, and then when you finally get it, Deoxys would just come down from the sky, and then you get to battle it and capture it. It was just like little things like that made the games. Even though I cheated to get the ticket to go to the island because I couldn't go to the event or whatever it was,
Yeah.
it would it's still like the fact that it was in the game and you could unlock it even with a cheat thing, it still give my game more playability, and it was just much more enjoyable that I could catch every Pokemon. And it was
Did you
just
know there was an actual glitch to be able to get Mew back in the Gen 1 games without cheating?
there was
Yeah.
how
So, you remember Nugget Bridge?
yes,
So there was you needed a Pokemon that could fly, and there was a youngster after Nugget Bridge that had a Slowpoke.
okay,
So you'd have to avoid that trainer, and there was a gambler on Route 8 with 2 Poliwags and a Poliwhirl.
okay,
So you had to avoid him as well. So it was all to do with like dropping down onto a certain spot, flying away where the person, like the trainer, would have started initiating a fight with you.
yeah,
But if you could do it fast enough, you could press start and fly away,
okay.
and it would essentially glitch the game out. And you would go back to fight the Slowpoke. Then you would go back to um, Celadon. Is it Celadon?
Is
Or you'd go back to,
the water gym, is it?
yeah,
I, I want to say
was
Saladon,
a
but I want to say
Cerulean.
Cerulean.
Cerulean. Yeah, Cerulean. So yeah, you'd go back to Cerulean, walk back up to Nugget Bridge, and a Mew would fight you.
Oh, nice.
It was nuts. It's all to do with like their IV levels and their EV levels and all that shit. It's like insane. But Mew was actually coded into the game, and that was the only way you could access it.
That's mad. I never knew that one. This
Because one of the other rumors that I always heard was the cave where you find Mewtwo. That if you went a different way, or if you run away from Mewtwo or something like that, that Mew would then spawn in that cave.
Oh, okay. I think I heard that one as well. And I think I did do it and it didn't happen.
Yeah. And then I was left with no Mew and no Mewtwo.
Yeah, same. I had to restart my entire save.
Yeah, you restart your save and replay through Pokemon for the 5 millionth time.
Yeah. So I think my most favorite generation has to be Generation 3 because
Yeah.
it had Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And I think I had Ruby. I had obviously Fire Red, Leaf Green, but I then swapped my Ruby for Emerald. So I played and I found like this weird glitch. And it would allow, like at the end of Emerald, you know, when you went to the battle frontier there was one of the buildings that you could go in. You can actually duplicate your Pokemon. So
Okay.
me being a crafty bugger, I was like, oh, I've got like this Lugia level 100. Like, do you want to swap it for this Pokemon or whatever that you have that you only have one of? I was like, yeah, sure. So I would duplicate my Lugia and then just like siphon them off to people so I could get some better Pokemons or some other legendaries and stuff. And then not so long after that, I would duplicate that. It would take seconds. It was like 30 seconds to a minute. It was fantastic. And then I'd be like, yo, I've got this Ho-Oh. Like, do you want to trade this for something? It's like, yeah, sure. And then all of a sudden they watched me trading it and they seen I had a box full of Lugias, a box full of Mewtwo's, a box full of all the it's like, how the hell did you get that? And they was just like sending me their best Pokemon or like their legendaries that they only have one of. But it was funny. I felt like a Pokemon dealer at that point. I was in, I think you called it high school, but I was in comprehensive school. That's same as high school, right?
Yeah, why not? Same thing.
Bloody Cardiffians and your
All
posh high
places where we
schools.
don't. It's just all places that we don't learn anything.
Yeah, pretty much. But I learned how to glitch the system and to bargain with people to get good Pokemon. Like I was a little goblin in school. But yeah,
So you've always been a crafty bugger then.
Yeah, I've always been a crafty bugger. Like, think smart, not hard, right? Like, it was fantastic. It was really cool. And that's when I started getting into competitive. Like, I didn't fully know what was going on. I didn't fully understand it. But because of the battle frontier in Pokemon Emerald, that's what sparked my love for wanting to play competitive. Like, or play more seriously. Because I actually found it a challenge. And it was a challenge. Like, where they were limited to level 50 or they were limited to level 100. And then there were certain types. And that's what got my brain started thinking, like, okay, so they're going to have these Pokemon, so I need to combat it with this, even though they have moves that can combat the Pokemon that I brought to weaken them, because I'm super effective against them. So it was like you had to constantly sort of like think about it. And it wasn't until Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which is I think Gen 6, that's when I really got into it. And that's when I got into the breeding with the IVs and stuff like that. And I spent 300 hours, I think it was, just purely on breeding, getting my perfect IVs and all that kind of stuff. And that's when I really, really, really got into it.
I suggest a challenging game for you to play then.
Okay.
So have you ever heard of ROM hacks?
I have, yes. That's how they did the Nuzlocke, right?
Essentially yes and no, but so a ROM is the digital version of the game.
Yeah.
So you could have the normal games, and then people have taken the normal games and they've edited the games to make their own version, and they call them ROM hacks.
Okay.
So there's one called Emerald Kaizo. It's argued to be the hardest Pokemon game in existence. There's, I think, 450 plus trainers in the game, and the game forces you to fight every single one of them.
Oh. Okay.
All of the trainers, the major battles, gym leaders, the Elite Four, all have competitive teams. They're EV and IV trained, and they are clever, and they play properly. Like, they play competitive style.
So the only thing that I have to complain about that is the fact that I can't recall a system being in place in Pokemon Emerald, or is it Emerald? The Kaizo is based on Emerald. Yeah. I don't recall there's a place to like tell me what my IVs or EVs are. So is there something in game that can do that now?
I'm not sure, but
because that will make it severely more difficult.
Yeah, it's a really difficult game to run through. I think there's like an external program that you can use, and you put like your Pokemon's details into it, and it would tell you the EVs and IVs of the Pokemon that you've got.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm not entirely sure on it. Like I never really got into stuff like that, but I've watched a few people play through Emerald Kaizo. Um, there's a guy on YouTube that he's deemed himself probably one of the best Nuzlockers in Pokemon,
Yeah.
and it took him 150 plus attempts to Nuzlocke beat the Emerald Kaizo.
Jeez. That's madness. I wouldn't do a Nuzlocke of it. I would.
I wouldn't say to do a Nuzlocke of it, but just a playthrough of it would be insane. Like some of the gyms have like permanent weather effects as well.
So, like, for example, if I brought Rayquaza, it would not get rid of it, would it?
You wouldn't get Rayquaza.
Wait, you can't get him?
No, like it's not randomized. You wouldn't get him until the end of the game. You
Oh,
already have to go through those.
yeah, you've got to go through them all. Oh, damn. That's
Yeah,
madness.
yeah,
So, the story of the game plays the same. The difference is
it's
you have
completely
to
the same.
battle everyone.
You have to battle everyone, and like they have good Pokemon and with good move sets and know how to use them.
Okay, that's sparked my interest, I'm not going to lie. Because I'd have
It's
to be strategic. Every time I would go through the games, I wasn't strategic. Because, like, I know, for example, in Fire Red Leaf Green, if I chose Bulbasaur, if I chose Bulbasaur, I would have the Rock Gym beaten, the Water Gym beaten easily. And Bulbasaur is a very, very easy to level up Pokemon. So by the time I get to Brock's Gym, I would already be a Venusaur, and I just one-hit them. Then by the time I got to Misty's Gym, I would be like maybe 1 or 2 levels, so I'd need a second Pokemon to comfortably beat her. But this seems like a challenge. And this seems like a challenge that I would very much enjoy and very much rage on stream with.
Yeah. He,
So-
the guy that did it when he nuzlocked it, part of his rule set was he wasn't allowed to overlevel for gyms as well,
Yeah, I would
which
try
is a
not
good
to do
rule
that.
to have.
Yeah, because when you're doing it for this reason, like unless it has something like coded into it, like what Ash has on his Pixelmon server, where the actual Pokemon of the trainer that is matching you. So unless it has something like that, which I doubt it would, because I'm looking at it right now and it was updated 2017. So the chances are it's not, but it will be fun. Like I
It's
wouldn't.
definitely something I'd love to see you play through it.
Oh yeah, I think I will. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'll try and set it all up so I can play it, and I will either do it with a controller, just so it's easier.
I do it with a controller. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, just so it's easier, and I will see if I can figure out how to get the, like, you know when people have their Pokemon and stuff on screen, like, and they just do it with ease. I tried doing that before, and I had to download all 300 and odd at the time Pokemon, and then getting them on sources. And I was just wondering, there has to be an easier way to do that. But it'll be fun to do. I definitely enjoy doing that.
Oh, definitely.
Because
I think
like,
it's right up your alley.
oh yeah. Like, and then Ash would come in, he'd be like, yeah, I can do that. And then he would play it as well.
Generally, I'd love to just play through it. And if Ash comes in and says anything, be like, you do it.
Yeah, 100%. You do it.
Yeah.
Like, you take on these IV and EV trained people that you haven't coded in Ash.
Yeah.
You don't know their weaknesses, Ash.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be great. Like, I've got that on my downloads at the moment, so I can download it after we finish this. But it generally looks pretty fun.
Oh, definitely.
So there was one more game as well that we was talking about, and neither of us know much about him. Well, I think you know a bit more than me because of your friends, but God of War Ragnarok. So
Yeah.
I've never ever played a God of War game, but they always looked really cool. And
so I've never played them, but I've watched people play them, and they look absolutely stunning.
yeah, the graphics on them are absolutely phenomenal. And like the Ragnarok, the Viking kind of theme, that's up my alley. I like that kind of stuff because of the Norse mythology and stuff. But I'm just looking at the blurb at the moment. So Ragnarok, also known as the Twilight of the God, is a major event first prophesized by, I don't know how to say that name, Jotun Gra. That foresees the ultimate battle that results in the death of many gods, including Odin and Thor, as well as the rebirth of the world through submersion into water. So Kratos and Atreus, I'm guessing that's the people on the front, the little boy and Kratos' daddy, the guy with the beard. So it's technically,
they're the main characters.
yeah, so that's pretty much me and you going on an adventure, right? A big balding or bald guy, Viking looking kind of guy with a beard, and then like a little blonde mousy haired kid.
Yeah, he does quite often refer to him as just boy.
Boy. Boy.
It's literally like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
uh,
Know your place, boy.
Yeah. So it looks like I've seen the trailer. It looks pretty sick. Graphics, as we've already discussed, absolutely phenomenal. I know there are some people in the community that like it. For example, Max, like he loves God of War. But it looks like a really fun game to play. And coming off, I didn't fully play through Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but that was due to streaming and PC constraints because for some reason my PC decided to balk and it didn't like playing it anymore. It was due to some bugs and stuff in the game, but they've obviously updated it by now, so I should really get into playing that again. But I really enjoyed that, and I was in Asgard at the time of like it constantly bugging out, so I was like doing the Loki quest line and that kind of stuff, and seeing the trailer for this God of War Ragnarok, it looks right up my alley to play. So do you know do you know when it's being released?
They haven't had a release date as of yet, but it is due to come out this year. The only problem you've got with it is a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh yes, I forgot. So
I don't know how it would look. I know you've got a PlayStation 4. I don't think you've got a 5.
Yeah, I've got a PS4 Pro, and since I've changed my room around to make it easier to stream with, yes, my PlayStation 4 Pro is now in a box on the other side of my room. So
my PlayStation props up my monitor.
That's okay, fair enough. But yeah, that's the only deal breaker for me. I don't fancy buying a PlayStation 5 just to experience it, just for one game. Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm gonna have to miss out on that unless they port it over to PC. Oh, speaking of porting something over to PC, I did watch a video on Linus Tech Tips the other day, and there was Spider-Man coming to PC. So I'm not sure whether it's going to be the original. I can't remember, so I think it might be the first one. So the Spider-Man remastered, I played that many times. I played through it about 3 times, I think it was, because like a new game plus came out and then like a harder difficulty. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. So Spider-Man, I think that's coming to PC in August. And then let's have a little look. Yeah, so
that was a PlayStation exclusive as well, though, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So it looks like actually Miles Morales is coming in the autumn too. So we might have both Spidey games.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah,
it could open the door for God of War coming to PC as well. Then
exactly, that's the hope, because the thing is with Xbox Game Pass too, like they've got the Xbox Game Pass PC, which allows you, like we can play. For example, one of the games that I really would like to happen is Skate 4. I used to love playing the skate games on Xbox when I was younger, and I've got it on Xbox Game Pass right now, and I would like to do a stream of it too. But I think that's one of the games that I'd really like to chill with, because it's just skateboarding essentially. But if Sony are bringing Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales to PC,
that might be spearheaded in the PlayStation Online style.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. Because that's all we need to do. We just need PC, Microsoft, and Sony to play nice with each other, activate cross-plat play, activate the games across PC. The porting of it it's not that hard. Like,
yeah, but they never want to play nice though.
No, I know, but we can dream. So I think from these reports, the first Spider-Man is actually coming on August the 12th this year. So 2 months away, just over 2 months. And then the autumn, it'd probably be like October, November kind of time, I'd say. because that's when all the other games, like the decent, like big releases, that kind of stuff comes out. Because there's Call of Duty, I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 remake. Even though they already remade it, I haven't done much digging into that one yet. But the new I say the new one, the old new Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 remake, they only made a campaign version of it a few years ago. So why are they making another remake? It's going to be the multiplayer as well, I guess. But I'm sure it was just a campaign remake that they did a few years back. Did you play much of Call of Duty?
You've seen my aim.
On console, I haven't, though.
It's worse on console.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So I'll take that as a no.
Yeah, no, like I used to play the old games like Modern Warfare 2. I played when it first come out years ago, but it was only more because my stepdad would play them, so I would just play them because he had them.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So
Yeah.
there's one Call of Duty that I wish had a sequel, and that was Call of Duty Ghosts.
I never got around to that one.
Call of Duty Ghosts is when I dug my heels in and got really stuck into competitive Call of Duty. That's when I was doing most of my game battles and playing in comps and stuff like that. And like, I loved that game. The storyline was left on a cliffhanger, and like they've just done nothing since. And I think that was maybe around 2016, I want to say. But I really loved the Black Ops games. I first sort of dabbled in Call of Duty competitive in Modern Warfare 3 because that was when my mates were playing it, and you're gonna laugh, but I had a Nintendo Wii at the time because I didn't want an Xbox. I didn't want a PlayStation. I just didn't want it. So I had a Nintendo. I had a Nintendo Wii. I was a Nintendo fanboy, and I loved it. The graphics were okay. Like, looking back, the graphics were pants, right? But at the time, the graphics were okay. I played all the Mario games, the Virtual Console, that kind of stuff. The Wii Fit, the boxing with that bald guy. And I ended up hacking my Wii. And
You did.
yeah, of course I did. And then I used the ROMs for Guitar Hero because I already bought Guitar Hero for my PlayStation 2 because I still have my PlayStation 2 and I love Guitar Hero. So I wanted it on the Wii. So I did that, and I thought, I wonder what Call of Duty would be like. So I actually went to, I think it was CEX. It's like kind of like Game Station or whatever it is. So I bought it for like £2. So I put it in, and I was playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 with the nunchuck controllers and the Wiimote. And
I remember.
Dude, I was a fucking god. Like, I don't know how, looking back, like, I just don't know how. I used to go on like 30 kill streaks. It was just getting Moabs left, right, and center. It was fantastic. And then I went over my mate's house, Ross, and we played on, it was my first ever time playing on an Xbox, let alone playing FPS games on a controller. And I was shitting on people. And I was like, holy shit, this is easy. Why do I even have the nunchucks? Why don't I just buy a controller for it? So I shat on them, and then not long after, I had I bought an Xbox, and I joined the clan with them, and essentially we were doing clan wars, I think it was called back then. So if you were in the clan, your clan would try to beat other clans in doing the competitions faster or get the most points, that kind of stuff. And slowly but surely, people stopped doing them because it was every weekend. So people stopped doing them. And while it was just left with me on my own doing them. And I was like, you know what? It's just me doing them. I would like to like try and get gold. So I was there just trying to do like one thing that clans of 4 plus to 50, like I can't remember the limit, but there was loads that had to do. And after about 2 weeks, I got into the rhythm of how I needed to do things, and I found a sort of way to do it. And while my skill with Xbox and like playing on there was increasing like tenfold because I was pushing myself to the absolute limits, I was getting gold every single weekend from Clan Wars just on my own. And I was just like, this is fucking awesome. I'm super chuffed with myself. So I was like, is there any competitive Call of Duty? And that's when I found Optic Gaming, and they were like my first love of like esports teams. And then I found game battles, that kind of stuff, and that's when I got into it. But I didn't really get into it until Ghosts, like, and that was when I was like fully just like absorbed by it. I had my own team. I playing with some friends, and then we stopped after Advanced Warfare because Advanced Warfare it was easy. It was just too easy to shit on people. If that,
Yeah.
like because of the double jump, I had like very good aim. I had very good reactions, and it was just too easy to be able to jump, slide, and get out of the way, and just like I could hold hard points 4v1 no problem, and it was just, to me it was just too easy. And then after, I think that one maybe used Black Ops 3 or 4
Yeah.
with the extra jumping, like I was like, you know what, I'm done. Like I don't want boost jumps. Like it just made it too easy, and then they screwed it up in the next edition of Call of Duty, and it just didn't. I didn't like it, so that's when that's why I stopped.
Yeah.
So what are the
It
games?
went a,
Sorry.
it went a bit crazy, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. What are the games that you've played back in the day competitively, or like something that you could play the shit out of and just get better and better and better to at a point where you could go competitive? Are there any games like that for you?
No, I never have. Like, I was always a, I always loved playing games when I grew up, but like, I was quite happy just being the average Joe playing games, to be honest. Like, I think probably one of the best games I actually got at was one of the FIFAs where me and a couple of friends used to play pro clubs,
Yeah.
and we, I think it used to be you'd earn a certain amount of points for your league position, for every game you played, and like we'd look at the teams at the top and how many games they played and the amount of time that they put in and stuff like that, and it worked out that like had we sunk the same amount of hours into the game playing games as they did and played the same amount of games,
Yeah.
like we were on par with them. We were earning the same average points as they would have to be at that point without actually putting the hours in.
That's mad.
Like,
That's
yeah, we were a disgusting team on FIFA.
like, I really enjoyed playing pro clubs, but I would like play it as and when like my mates wanted or whatever. So
Mm.
they were playing it more than me, but they took it way more seriously, but they weren't necessarily good at the same time. um,
Yeah.
it was strange, and like it was kind of like just because they played it more, they thought they knew more, and just because they read like, oh, you should change your club tactics to this or your formation to that because this person said to do it, and
Mm.
their video on YouTube had like 10 million views, like they think that that's what you needed to do.
Yeah,
So
no.
that's the kind of people that I was playing with.
Mm.
But
The biggest problem we ever come up against was people having someone playing as the goalkeeper who had thousands of games in goals and their goalkeeper was like 99 overall, and it was fucking ridiculous to try and
yeah,
score past them. Like,
dude, the worst part, the worst part about playing pro clubs is when you come against that particular. There was two types of goalkeepers, right? There was one which was like 6'9", 99 overall, and he could do all the skill, or he had all the strength going and that kind of stuff, and he could just come out and just do roulettes around you, flicker over you, and you couldn't even come anywhere near him because if he was the tall one, he would strength you off and just like push you off, and you'd fall or something, and you couldn't catch him. Or he was the little quick one, and he could do the skill so fast, and he would like cover the entire like football pitch in like 10 seconds. Like you just couldn't catch up to him. It was just insane. But it was just hilarious, and he was like 5'4". So, and when you do take shots, their agility and reactions and everything were just perfect. They would just essentially kind of teleport just to the corner of the goal and save the ball. It was fantastic. Like I
the
wish
the
I was good like that.
the worst one we ever come up against was this team. They were beating us 1-0 with like I think like 20 minutes left to go, which in FIFA terms was like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, we'd had like 20 to 25 shots on target, and he'd saved all of them. And it was like every time that we would like play the ball over the top and one of us would be through, he would either save it or he was already there sweeping up, like making a tackle or
Yeah.
whatever. So it was a nightmare. So I turned round to one of the guys. I was like, "Listen, play it up to me because I've won every header. I'm gonna flick it on. You're gonna hit it first time, regardless of where he is." And we done it to him twice and scored 2 goals from it to win
Nice.
because
So,
he just wasn't prepared
yeah, you'd
for
think
that
that they would.
first time shot.
Yeah, they were just always going up for the to the catch or something. See,
Hmm.
that's the kind of thing that games like that need. You actually need tactics and people like analyzing it and just knowing what to do to counter it.
It was insane. Like they had one shot on target and 1 goal. Like the guy who played any for us, who controlled all the defenders and all that, was nuts. Like he
Oh,
blocked everything. He made last ditch tackles. Everything. That one shot they had on target,
yeah.
which I'm pretty sure was from like a deflection or a corner or something. Anyway,
I
and
really,
then we had that.
I really dislike the people that used to play any. Like they would pick any and or goalkeeper or striker and stuff like that, and they were just awful, like dog
Mm.
shit awful.
Oh no, he hated playing as any,
Oh, he did.
but he was godly.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. It'd be nice to if we had obviously more people interested in FIFA and stuff. It'd be nice to just get like a pro clubs going. It'd be
Yeah, I
fun to
probably
do.
should have let people win some more games against me when we played last time. They might have had more interest.
Yeah, I took it easy on you, gamer.
Yeah, okay.
But no, to be fair, that goes back to the competitiveness. So we'll go back to DBD for just a quick second. So as much as it's a meme of like me saying, "Oh yeah, I didn't even try," that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
it's genuinely the case because I think in my head, the way I want to stream, and I think you can probably agree with me because you said about yourself being like an average Joe gamer. So if I really enjoy a game and I sink thousands of hours like I have done, I'm coming up to 2,000 hours on Dead by Daylight. If I sink that amount of time into a game, I'm not doing it because I just want to casually play. It's like I want to do it because I want to get good at the game. And I believe I hit that sort of ceiling as like ego check me if you want, but like I got to the point where I learnt all I needed to learn as far as like how to do things like the text, this kind of stuff, what works, what don't work. And you can you get to a point when you've played so many hours that you can actually read what a killer is doing or read what a killer's going to do. Like you can treat the game like chess. Like the only time that you can't do that is when either it's like a baby killer or they just fed up of mind gaming and then it going wrong. So they mind game the mind game and then sort of like they keep doing sort of weird things that aren't conventional. And then that one chance or the other, one of you are going to screw up. And it's down to like chance. So like when I'm streaming Dead by Daylight, I don't feel the need to constantly try hard, constantly escape, constantly do this, that, and the other. Like get the juices, get the place and stuff like other streamers do. Like there's streamers out there that are known to need to play at the highest level possible.
Mm.
Otherwise, they feel...
Max,
Sorry?
Max MMR.
Yeah, Max MMR. As I look to the side and see my hat. Yeah, so there's like they need, in quotes, like maximum MMR. They need to be known that they're the maximum skill, they're the best at this, that, and the other. Like, I don't feel that's healthy because unless you're playing an actual competitive game, for example, League of Legends, for example, FIFA even, or Call of Duty, like, I don't feel the need to like constantly sweat play like the best and optimally as you can, because if you do that and you get known for doing that and people come to your stream and like, hey, this person's like the best DVD player or best FIFA player kind of thing, people kind of come to your stream expecting that. So whenever you do play bad, it's kind of like, oh, this guy's not actually that good, or this person's not as good as people said they were.
Yeah.
So being able to take a step down from that and just only play good or only sort of turn it up kind of thing when you need to. For example, like I've done it a few times in games where I'm just playing casually, I'm just having fun, which that's for me, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to just chill in games. I want to be able to have fun, just chill, just and just like go around doing my business, get challenges done, do whatever. If I get face camped, I get face camped, tunnel, blah blah blah. I don't care. But if I feel the need, which I have done in a few games recently, to be like, you know what, we need to win this. Like, I just want this killer's being a jerk, so let's just run him, or let's just do this, that, and the other, and just win the game. And I've just flicked this switch in my head to like go from casual play to, I don't want to say competitive, but that's my mindset. Like,
start trying.
Yeah, start trying. Yeah. And I don't mean to sound like I've got a huge ego with DBD or whatever, because it's not a hard game. That's the biggest thing about it. It's not a hard game to play. And it's not a hard game. Like, if you've learned one or two of the loops, you can pretty much do them all. The other day, I can't remember what killer it was, but I ran them on Killer Shack and maybe the one loop outside of it, I think it was, for 3 gens. And I did it easily enough, and then I lost them. Like, it's just easy. Like, if you know how to loop it, if you can break eyesight and get rid of the bloodlust and stuff, you can just loop them infinitely, and it's just super easy. The only reason why I looped them outside of the loop of Killer Shack is because I already looped around a few times and blocked the window, so I would have been hit. So if you know how to play it and know how to play certain loops and stuff, it's easy. The only way that you'll get countered by that is if the killer actually knows as well. And if you play casually like me, it's kind of a 50-50% chance. If the MMR does work, that the killer actually knows how to loop. So, and if, like I said, if killer's playing like a jerk or like face camping, that kind of stuff, then you know, like, you do one of two things. If they're face camping, you haven't got borrowed time, you slap the gens, and then the killer will complain, oh, you gen rushed. Or if you got borrowed time, that kind of stuff, you've orchestrated something, which what we've done many times before, and got the gens done, got the save, got the exit gates, and all of us around. So it's, like I said, it's not that much of a hard game. It's more the fact that I want to relax and chill playing it and enjoy the game. And then when I need to, I can flip the switch, turn it on, go hard mode, and that's it. So I think that's what people enjoy about my content, maybe, because I'm more of a chill vibe person. I'm not like constant try hard. I have to win. I have to do this, that, and the other. Because as soon as I start doing that, and people start coming to me for that, I can imagine if I start playing more casually again, that's when it'll drop off. And I don't want to get stuck in that rut needing to try hard constantly, because that's not healthy.
No, definitely not.
I think you were the same as me as well, by the way, in that respect. So you play the games for the enjoyment, not to be the best.
No, I like half the games that I play, I will die trying to do something that's really stupid that shouldn't work, but it's hilarious when it does.
It is. It's like, even if it's just running up to the killer, just poking them in the face, and then all of a sudden they just drop you and just face camp you.
Or to me and you crouching and throwing a pebble at Bubba.
Simultaneously, exactly.
Yes.
And then me getting Mori like 30 seconds later. That was fantastic, though. It was brilliant. But that's the thing. We just go in, like, we bring pebbles, we bring deception, and then we just mix our scratch marks up, just run the killer, just have some fun. We throw rocks at them. It's like
that's the moments I live for, and that's why I wanted to get like the Juicer of the Month competition that you do go in.
Exactly, because what is the Juicer of the Month, by the way?
So it is a monthly competition where people enter their clips of their cracked plays or their best plays, or even just trying something that shouldn't work but did work, so it looked really cool. And it's sponsored by G2A, which is an online key company for games, and they give us a game up to the price of €30, I believe it is.
Yep, that's correct.
So I put the video together of all the people's entries, and then it's voted for by the people on stream.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's awesome. There's been quite a few winners so far the last couple of months that we've been doing it, and they've chosen some great games. We did actually have a draw last month, and it was definitely Howler, Badly Texture Grass. We had the vote, and they both had the same amount of votes each. They had like 17% of the votes each, and they both draw. So we did another live poll inside the stream, and it was 50-50 again. So As we were doing the draw, Deathly Howler very kindly actually said, you know what, let Badly have it. And so Badly Texture Grass officially won. And it was just great. So they chose Hunt Showdown as their game of choice, up to €30, which is a fantastic game, by the way. It's very difficult for me because I like the more run and gun kind of thing. That's kind of a more stealthy sort of take your time approach, but it's very cool. It's a very good game. So that's what we got going. So thanks, big up Steve from G2A, which hopefully we will be able to get on the podcast very soon.
We love you, Steve.
We love you. So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up this podcast, right? We've talked about quite a lot.
So. Yeah, it's been a fun chat.
It has. It's well, it lasted longer than I thought, which my wife would also agree to.
It's the first thing you've lasted too long in a while.
In a long while. So yeah, gamers, that's pretty much it. So feel free to subscribe, like, all that kind of stuff. If it's on other platforms, just like follow and all that jazz. Share it about it would be much appreciated. So yeah. Ryan, any last words?
No, I think that's it really. The only thing I would say is if you would like to, if there's any streamers that you would like the spotlight shined onto, if you could suggest them to us so we can give them a little look-see. They might be featured on the next Streamer of the Month. We can get their social medias out there and hopefully get people going in and saying hi.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Because that's the thing that this is going to do as well. And that's the reason why I made my community, is to just broadcast and just bring everyone together like-minded. And being able to do this podcast as well, if it takes off, that would be fantastic to meet even more people, get everyone involved, that kind of stuff, sharing communities and just getting everybody just like-minded together and creating content together, because that'll be fun.
Yeah, we want to be able to bring them even onto the podcast as guests as well and have a chat with them and see what games they're interested in and stuff as well, and
exactly
learn more.
Different perspectives, different games, and it'd be awesome. It'd be really cool.
Indeed.
But gamers, thank you for listening. We will see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.